I don't know if you would have seen us cover some of this on Friday night at BHN, but I thought we might go a little more in depth into this interview with David Seymour on the Dom Harvey podcast. Don't know if you've heard about the
Oh,
video.
yeah, no, well, I did see this, and I've been
Oh, you did
planning to
see?
sort of, like,
I've
watch
gone
it
through
at
and
some
gotten
point,
gotten
but
more clips for us to watch, so we can kind
yeah.
of have a bit more of a.
I got, like, 4 or 5 minutes in, and I was like, fucking hell. I
It's
don't know.
rough.
Yeah.
It is fucking rough. I'll be honest. Like, I was struggling really bad, and I was like, I just had to hold my brain, being like, no, this is technically relevant to the stuff you do on your like YouTube thing, so you have to watch it. Oh my god, it was so painful. Like, I'll be honest, I had quite a few cones during it because I could not do it sober. So now I have to do it sober. So like,
I
let's do
think
it
what
sober
made me
together.
rage quit was, I think there was something about, like, people being disingenuous or liars in Parliament. No. Immature? Was it immature? Something like that. It was just like the first couple of minutes, and
Oh
David
yeah,
Seymour was like,
that's
I know a few of
right.
those people in Parliament. I was like, fuck off, you immature fuck.
Oh yeah, and he's just trying to basically like dog whistle about fucking the Greens. Like, who else is he talking about? The only people who can fucking like hold call him out on anything.
Mm.
So this
Got my
part
bro here
here
ripping the green, by the way.
is he basically is I think he's asking David Seymour about the voting age. So part of the background is obviously this kid is really politically educated. He
Mm.
has parents who are on each side of the political spectrum, which I think is really, really interesting. He kind of pointed out in this too how it's not very common for a lot of kids to have parents who sit on either side.
I would say that definitely used to be more common, and I
Yes.
don't know, like what who knows? It could be sort of a rose tinted glasses type thing with his parents. Who knows? Like, because he gets to see them on a more regular basis, like talking about
Oh,
political disagreements. Like my parents have
yeah.
disagreements about things too, sometimes politically, not all the
To
time,
be
but
fair, I mean, I would argue that it's probably a lot more common these days to not have, because I feel like in some ways people were a lot more kind of like, oh, I can let that slide because I love them.
mhm.
Whereas I feel like for a lot of especially for like me and a lot of the people I know, I feel like we've watched our parents and grandparents do that and have gone, you know what? I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if all these jokes about hating my wife or my
Mhm.
husband are really for me. And then have kind of, I feel like a lot of millennials and Gen Z, I guess, do let political leanings kind of be a bit of a make or break. Because, like, even on so I got this sticker. I only date people who vote green. I've also got another one that says, I only date people who keep Māori wards. And, like, this is the kind of stuff, like, in my dating profile online, it literally says, the furthest right I can handle is a Labour voter. Because I'm like, I do not want to end up accidentally, you know, even just matching with someone who would vote for ACT or National or NZ first. Like,
Yeah.
I just couldn't.
Different strokes, because I'm not like that. I'm just like, whatever. If I find out, I'm not too fussed about their personal beliefs, as long as they're not like, I don't know, a racist bigot, I suppose. At that
Well, I
point, I'm gonna be
guess
like, get the fuck out of here.
for me, I don't feel like people can sit on the right and not hold some of those, whether even if it's just like internalized or like, I don't know. For me, it's very much a thing of like, if you can even, like, I feel like the left. Okay, I'll make a very, very, very bold and overarching
Okay.
statement that will have more nuance in it. But I think the left are right. I think the left have better values and morals. And I feel like the right definitely have a lot of. There are some points in there that I can kind of see, but a lot of it comes with too many caveats that I think are fucked, basically.
I don't know. I I think I disagree a bit there, but
That's fair.
also depends on a lot of things, like your Overton window, like what you're thinking about is right versus left, blah blah blah,
Yeah.
like a lot of things like that. Also, that's also another thing I like try not. I try not to think in things like left versus right, that kind of dichotomy. I think that's partly like, not that I don't acknowledge it doesn't have its advantages to use that in conversation when you're talking about things to simplify things, but I think
Mm.
that sort of thinking has partly gotten to the political polarization today. Sort of thinking in things like in terms of left versus right. I think it's just sort of added fuel to the fire, and things have gotten way more complex beyond that at this point. I've had this discussion multiple times, but when you're talking about things like the political compass is just like a XY axis thing, that's so
Yeah.
dated. That's so dated. I mean, that
Oh,
was
absolutely.
when it came out, like adding the sort of liberal authoritarian axis, that was a big step up from because it used to just be left right,
Yeah.
like early political theory, but then they added the extra axis. At this stage you've got like the whole 16 values, I think, and I think even more like more modern political theory has evolved beyond that. So
Yeah.
but look, it's ever evolving sort of um science. It's a field of study, political
Oh, for
science,
sure.
and
For
yeah,
sure.
I don't know.
Like, I definitely I do get what you mean, because I think, unfortunately, like, the people who sit in the extremes of, if we're going to say, I don't think it's left versus right wholly,
Mhm.
but I feel like it's the people at the extremes that have kind of really tainted those who are maybe a little bit more
Mhm.
nudged inwards.
Yeah.
But I definitely see how it's created a lot of division in certain people who kind of think there's a rigidity that some people have with the left
Yeah.
and right that is why I kind of said I'm making a broad sweeping statement, but it
Yeah, but that's
requires a
the
lot more
entire
nuance.
point of it, is to
Yeah.
create a sort of a broad statement. It's just
And
it's when you start applying that more practically into your reality, I think it does start to creep into some problematic circumstances. Not that
oh,
I don't blame you
absolutely.
for putting in your Tinder profile, because that's much easier to say. Hey, you should be a leftist, rather than saying listing off literally every
Yeah.
single thing. Like, you need to be pro trans, you need to be pro this, pro
Well,
that.
they do kind of have to be pro most of the. And again, I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's where, for me, because of the minority groups that I sit within, there
Mm-hmm.
isn't a way that I could see someone further to the right
Mm-hmm.
actually holding stuff that isn't kind of
Yeah.
would create too much conflict. I
And for
mean,
example, like a lot of TERFs would see themselves as progressives and stuff, but they just, they don't like trans people, for
oh, for
example.
sure.
But
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it really does get
absolutely.
messy.
Like, I feel like this image here, which is for autism, but I feel like that this is the type of thing we need to start seeing more in terms of thinking about things, and,
Yeah.
you know, those could be the different features of politics and all of that kind of thing. But yeah, anyway, we should probably fucking watch this and
Bit of
let
a
them have
tangent.
a bit of a corridor.
Sure, sure.
Okay, so as a year 8 this year, I will be one of the students that will have never earned NCEA credits from the previous system, and I'll only be doing the A&E grading that the government's introduced now. How do you as a government aim to improve my schooling and improve my qualifications by changing this system?
Well, I just want to start by
Which, like, first of all, I just have to shout out how fucking amazing this kid is. So good, so succinct.
Let me guess his answer. The old system was shit. That's going to be probably it.
All right, let's see if your guess is correct.
saying NCEA can be a good system. If you choose hard credits and apply yourself, you
nuance than I
could
thought.
do very well with NCEA. I think where NCEA has gone wrong is exactly where John Morris back in the day said it would, is that it creates too many options and pathways to avoid the hard work.
No. So there's too many
I mean-
pathways into more creative fields that aren't what I value.
Also, we'll see if he starts talking about the new system at all, but so far I'm right. He's just saying, old system bad.
Yep.
And actually make life too easy. And people say, how can life be too easy? Well, actually, I think you've got to have a series of challenges where you say, this is the curriculum, you've got to learn it, you've got to sit the test, and then we're going to give you a percentage. And, that may be hard, but it's better to have a series of small and increasingly large challenges as you grow up, because when you're an adult, suddenly you get some big challenges, and if you hadn't had one before, you're in trouble. So NCEA can work, and I don't want to take anything away from those students out there who have or are doing NCEA. But we're going to say, look, this is the stuff you need to learn. There will be a test. You've got to pass it. And I think that is going to be good for the amount of knowledge you pick up. And it's also going to be good for young people being ready to face more of life's challenges.
Okay. Well, I've heard some.
But yeah, so a lot of waffle.
Nothing about the new curriculum and how it's going to help them. Okay,
No.
so non-answer. Just
Yeah.
yeah. I think he said
Students
something about
saying that-
increasingly getting more difficult challenges as life got. So is he hinting?
Yeah,
that's what
which
the
was
new
a
curriculum's
weird-
gonna be?
Well, yeah, it was weird in the way he's trying to be like,
that's what the old system.
oh, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it just, yeah, it was weird.
did. Yeah, the
They're worried
system's gonna
about
get
what they're
harder as you get older.
Yeah,
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's more, like, funnily enough, I feel like he actually doesn't understand that he could be right if he applied it differently. Because I feel like there's one thing that is quite, like, lacking in school, and that's the jump between the end of high school and the beginning of uni is fucking massive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know in America they have more of a system where basically you kind of start gearing up for those different types of, like, classes, and or they even have, like, I know, like, you can go basically on, like, little work experience type things, but I would say that America seems to have a lot better kind of scaling in terms of that, at least from what I understand. But yeah, that was the weird part. It kind of felt like he just started saying words
Yeah.
at one point, and I'm just like,
but
okay.
You're right that it is like a struggle, because that's what I remember too. And it's not necessarily the challenge level. I mean, maybe some things it was, like mathematics was a bit of a leap. But it's specifically like management, self-management. That was the thing that they don't really teach you, like how to organize yourself, that kind of thing, which doesn't go into strict, tick, 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 test curriculum,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, so a more loose, less rigid structure is probably going to be more ideal for teaching those kinds of things than whatever the hell they're thinking of. But hey, I can't criticizing system I haven't even seen yet. So
To be fair, I think the one thing that bothers me though is that they keep dog whistling, being like, oh, there's too much flexibility, so you can kind of skate by. And I'm like, yeah, sure. When I was in high school, I do remember there being, like, for some classes, they would allow you to say if you weren't... Okay, they basically were what you would call the dumb class, like, for lack of a better fucking word. And they got to do, I think, different types of assessments. I think one of the assessments they might have done was more like basketball or surfing and, like, some other more physical, like, things that they could achieve. And that was just to get them through, because otherwise, actually, I think you just put it on, but I think this is a really good point here, is that, people can get qualifications because they've got to take in exams. There are many very bright and equally qualified people that miss out because the exam situation is detrimental to them. And that's definitely a huge, huge thing.
I think I brought it up a few weeks back, but just people talking about the SATs and the fact that... most SAT teachers, what they do is they don't teach the subject, they just teach how to do the SATs, like,
Yeah, they just teach you how to answer the questions that they want you to answer.
Yeah, how to get good scores on the SATs, not actually how to do the subject properly or actually learn it, so it's of practical value to you. So
I even think, like, uni can sometimes be like that too, like, I know, I think I said it when I was on BHM with Pat. But, like, there's stuff that I don't remember from my degree. Oh my god, Mr. Arvids, don't make us use derogatory terms. Also, man, seeing that word, fuck, that just took me back. I can't believe we used to call people that. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, is that a no-no now?
Well, I mean, it's basically like saying the R word, in my opinion.
I didn't know.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying is my personal feeling.
Egg? Is that okay? Can I call someone?
Oh yeah, egg's different though. That's just saying someone's like a dick eater and you're annoying. Okay. But calling someone a cabbage is basically calling them the R word, which is where I'm like, maybe not, eh? But okay, we're up to. We'll let him finish off this last bit. Oh, fuck, wrong one. I just realized I opened the wrong tab. Hold up. Let me take that back. Because we're going to go into
Where's
this...
our professionalism?
Yeah, I know, right? We're going to go into this next bit, which...
Oh,
He does this whole weird, like...
someone's on your team.
Oh, yay. I don't know what we're agreeing about. Oh,
I think
the
that was
C word.
C
Cool,
word
yeah.
now. It's C word.
Too many C words. Well, to be fair, cunt's fine to say. We're in New Zealand.
Yeah, no, that
Like-
one's been said in Parliament. I don't think
Right?
the other one's been said. I don't know. You find
Oh,
me a clip of
God.
someone saying
Could
the
you
C word.
imagine? Or the R word. That'd be even worse.
I mean,
Very-
I'm sure Winnie's said it at some point.
Oh, yeah, true. But, ugh, gross. Anyway, so he goes through this big, long, like, spiel, I guess, where he's talking about how New Zealanders have lost their pioneering spirit, and then, like, name drops Edmund Hillary, Kate Shepherd, and Rutherford.
Kate Shepherd would fucking hate you.
Right? Like, with the pay equity stuff that's just happened, like, really? You're gonna bring Kate into this?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, and then he starts just... I don't even know how to explain what this is.
Okay.
Take it away. It's also saying, look, if you ever find yourself as a sole parent or you really can't get a job, there'll be welfare there for you. But at the moment, 1 out of every 6 working age New Zealanders is on a benefit. And I just refuse to believe that 1 in 6 people can't work.
Which is obviously a pretty disgusting thing to say.
I mean, and it's not even necessarily like he's meaning that in terms of like ability, I think, which is not even necessarily the issue. It's that there's not enough work to employ them. It's that's the bigger issue.
Because I'm gonna share this. So I obviously, when I heard that, I went, "Are you kidding me? Are you actually trying to gaslight me right now?" So let's look at this. Press play. So apparently, the problem is the people don't want to work.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's we'll take that back. Take that back.
That was a lot.
I know, right? And that's all from like 2023, 2024. Like, it's insane. Also, can you please pause? There we go. Obviously, you can see on here, 2024, a bunch of different articles. 50 jobs at Te Whatuora. We obviously had the complete disestablishment of Te Aka Whaiora.
Whammy.
Right? We've got fucking 271 roles disestablished. And obviously the N number is pretty fucking terrifying. That's a live active updated one.
Holy shit.
So that one is on the web, like they actually have it updating. So yeah, public sector cuts to date, 9,520. And I'm gonna be honest, I feel like a lot of those people would have just gone straight onto, well, not straight onto the benefit because they have to wait fucking probably 13 weeks for their stand down. But yeah, just trying to, the way he's trying to say that it's like, oh, I can't believe there's people who don't want to work. And like you said, it's not about wanting. It's about, I was going to bring it back in. I'm just finding it. It's about bringing, the fact that we don't have the jobs to go into. And I think
supply and demand. It's simple.
Exactly.
You're the economics guy. You're the free market. You tell me how it works. Supply and demand.
And not even just that, but like, as you saw in some of those fucking things, this government literally said before they came in, we are going to cut a bunch of jobs and there will be an increase in the unemployment rates. They went into this knowing that, and then they keep trying to gaslight us into thinking that they never fucking said that to begin with, and then, making out that people on the benefit, oh, I can't believe they just don't want to do anything. It's like, no, there are so many people, myself included, who would love to be able to work right now, would love to be in a job that they actually A, have the skills for, and B, can do.
It's like starving a whole bunch of people and going, I just don't believe that these people don't want to eat,
Like cousins.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. It's
fucking psychopathic behavior.
It literally. That's what it baffles me and keeps making me so angry. As I'm like, how?
Yeah, extreme
How
cognitive
can you
dissonance.
not?
So we need to start putting some obligations and some time limits on welfare. And we also need to make it desperately, when we talk about red tape, make it easier to build a home, because
Yeah, so weirdly goes into being like, because there are people who I don't believe can't work, we should sanction them and make their life more difficult, even though we're the reason they're unemployed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, it makes me want to just like,
Not to mention, you've cut plenty of red tape already, I believe, when it comes to the housing sector and the building sector, and I believe the building sector in terms of residential housing is pretty much at a complete halt. So,
Exactly. And it's just, oh God, he has such a fucking punchable face. And then just the weird pivot as well of like starting to talk about the housing stuff. Like, yeah, you guys did need to build a bunch of new houses and you only built 45 and cut a bunch of Kainga Ora homes. So do you really want to make it easier for people to build houses, or do you want to make it like, it's like they're trying to put it onto us of like, oh, well, the citizens of New Zealand should be able to build houses easier. It's like, well, maybe you could actually provide some of those homes to those fucking citizens. And yeah, exactly. Leaky Home 2.0 is what because like, I mean, I'm sure you remember Leaky Home. I feel like it was such a big story when we were young. Like, I even remember the Almighty Johnsons included it in part of their story arc for the fucking TV show, the Almighty Johnsons. Yeah, like that's how big, because like Mike was a builder, one of the characters, and so they basically had this small arc where this South African family had a leaky home, and he kind of basically wasn't the fault of it, but that like kind of took on the problem and tried to fix it. And yeah, it's just, we've already got cold, damp homes. We don't need more leaky, shitty ones that aren't going to be really fit for purpose.
Yeah, I didn't really watch that show, by the way.
It's so good. You need to watch it. Oh yeah, that's right. I also I did find this one little bit of video. That's right. So maybe we should watch this. I'll just have to find the timestamp, because this was just the last.
While you're doing that, fun fact today. I think I mentioned Lee Tamahori of Once Were Warriors, the director of that, in our most recent episode. And I found out today he directed Die Another Day.
Huh.
Like the worst James Bond film ever.
I don't watch James Bond movies, but that's interesting.
It's pretty bad. I mean, it's a bit of crack, it's fun, but it's still a bad film. But I did not know that until I found that out today.
That's funny. But yeah, this is just like one little bit. This is from quite a while ago. This is 2nd of December 2024. So
James Bond, by the way.
Honestly, that makes sense.
Thank you.
The job seeker support benefit saw an increase of more than 8,000 this past quarter. No doubt life is still tough for many New Zealanders. Years of high inflation, high interest.
He's just...
He says it all the time.
All the fucking time. And then we'll go into the last clip from fucking Dopey David. This one, that's right. Now I remember. I don't like this one. This one's David being racist, basically, but like in a new kind of way that I wasn't expecting.
There should be equal rights before the law.
Yeah, they're talking about the treaty principle bill.
Not that there should be equal outcomes, equal rights. So I took the treaty and what I believe the treaty really was intended and what it meant in 1840, and I put that into a set of principles I think would be good for New Zealand. But obviously there's a lot of people who like the partnership idea, partly because it makes them special, or because...
Which, like, he always does those little, like... It just reminds me of, like, talking to your passive-aggressive family member or, like, narcissistic ex-boyfriend. You know what I mean? Like, it's just... There's no need. There's no need. I know you're only doing that to dog whistle your fucking mates.
He always, like, look, if people support you, the proof's in the pudding. You don't have to sit there and talk about how many people support your bullshit bill that no one wanted.
Exactly.
They feel that they're guilty because of things that happened in the past, and therefore, there should be different treatment of people. For that reason, it created a lot of controversy. I still think in the long term, that version of the treaty will prevail because division doesn't work.
Okay. So you said that everyone should have equal rights before the law, but after the law, there shouldn't be equal outcomes. So could you elaborate what that meant? Because 60...
Which, like, first of all, again, this kid is so fucking smart. Just so smart.
Yeah, like, you
percent of our
don't
prison
want equal outcomes? Like,
Right? Like, he's like, I see you. I
Yeah.
fucking see you.
no, I want things to be unfair. I want people to be, it's just part of life. People should be on the streets starving and struggling.
Right. Well, that's the thing is, I love he even sets it up. Like, honestly, this kid's gonna make a really good podcaster in the future or politician, either. But yeah, so he sets him up with that, and then just goes in with the fucking stats with some Chloe Swarbrick styles.
Oh shit.
shouldn't be equal outcomes. So could you elaborate what that meant? Because 60% of our prison population is Maori, and that means 20%
Also, notice how he took a little bit extra time to actually pronounce the name right. Maori.
of 900,000 Maori are in prison, which is kind of sad.
Well, you also got to remember, I'm not quite
Maori.
sure about.
Okay, actually, what is your prediction for his answer to basically how are you going to solve inequities that exist due to the fact that Maori have higher imprisonment rates?
Let me guess. It's their fault.
Yeah, pretty much actually. You're pretty
Okay,
fucking
there you go.
close.
It's all their
Sad.
fault.
Well, you also got to remember, I'm not quite sure about your 20% of 900,000.
Sorry, that was someone
Yeah,
else.
2% might be, but
I'm not sure about
It was
your
actually
facts.
10% because I think someone else did the math on Friday.
Okay, I'm not going to do that.
the putting that aside, the other thing you got to remember is that Maori are also disproportionately victims of crime. So it's not that Maori are locked up more because there's some sort of prejudice. It's because there seems to be more crime. Now, you got to get to the bottom of why that is. And
Your face looks like mine when I watch this.
I'm just so many things have got me confused. Firstly, when he says victims, is he talking about them committing crimes or like
Being victims of crime.
actually being victims? That wasn't like
So-
a slip.
Yep, no, we'll take it back because it's a lot to absorb in a few seconds.
Equal outcomes. So could you elaborate what that meant? Because 60% of our prison population is Maori, and that means 20% of 900,000 Maori are in prison, which is kind of sad.
well, you also got to remember, I'm not quite sure about your 20% of 900,000.
Sorry, that was someone
Yeah,
else.
2% might be, but the putting that aside, the other thing you got to remember is that Maori are also disproportionately victims of crime. So it's not that Maori are locked up more because there's some sort of prejudice. It's because there seems to be more crime. Now, you got to get to the bottom of why.
So what he's implying is more Maori go into the prison system because they're the ones committing crimes against other Maori.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Which, like, when I heard that, like, oh my god, the fufu valve was very well. Actually,
Even
it
on a
wasn't
base
even that
level,
loud because my voice was fucked. But it just
I'm still not sure if that even makes sense. Like, why would it matter
No.
if they're committing more against other Maori? I don't know.
because
Like,
he's
what-
trying to distract and deflect. It's like the weirdest fucking way to do it, though. Because, like, yeah, I was just baffled when I saw this because I'm like, so Maori are in prison more because they are victims more. Okay.
Or is
Alright.
it just trying to insinuate that the entire community, their entire community, is just ripe with crime? I guess, perhaps.
Well, yeah, well, that's the thing is he's obviously dog whistling and victim blaming, trying to be like, oh, well, Marys are victims of crime, and that's why they end up in prison because they get victimized and I guess fight back. I don't fucking know the weird jump you've got to then make to go there to there, and it's just that. I don't know if he says much more. We'll see. I think it's only got a few more seconds.
that is. And the case I would make is that you can either look at people through a lens of what's their ethnic background and just say, well, that's it. We're just going to divide people. You're Maori or you're non-Maori.
No,
that's
not
as
just
far
it.
as our statistics
That's not just
go.
what we're doing. We're not just going, hey, these people are Maori and we got to fucking be nice to them because they're Maori, you know?
Yeah.
It's more Maori per capita are winding up in jail and we want to know why, and it must be some kind of issue, and you're trying to like suggest it's something inherent to their race, which that seems to be what you're trying to imply. I'm not too sure about the specifics of exactly what you're saying, but you're trying to imply because they're Maori and because there's more crime in their community, that's why they wind up in jail. Blah 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 blah. Blacks should stop committing more crimes. Essentially,
Yeah.
is the fucking
It's the same.
it's
same
15-year-old fucking edgy internet fucking argument I've heard a billion fucking times. It's
I mean, I grew up with this rhetoric.
Mhm.
Like, that's where I got a lot of my internalized fucking racism from, because my mum was very much that kind of person that would just be like, oh, but what about this though? Oh, but what about this though? You know, like when pronoun stuff started, you know, becoming more prominent, she loved the fucking Apache helicopter, or I identify as a tree, as she liked to say. And I'm just, yeah, it's all of that very much like trying to insinuate that there's either a more nefarious or a lesser reason. Like, it's just always pushing people down, trying to imply that there is something more going on that's generally negative and nefarious, but never actually saying it, because then they, you know, can try to get out of their fucking lies and shit. And it's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
It's like, fucking look, mate, you gotta live in like West Auckland or South Auckland or something and see how long you last growing up in that kind of family. You fucking sit there and your mom or your dad's statistically quite likely unemployed right now. You're not much meat on the table. You're not getting any fucking support from the government. You're like, what the fuck do I do? You grow up through that shit, trying to make ends meet. Potentially, I mean, I saw these statistics. I think someone was saying the other day. Even quite a few like mothers now are dealing methamphetamine, because that's what they need to do to feed their kids.
I didn't
and
hear
you grew
about
up
that
in-
one. What the fuck?
Yeah. Well, it was it was not some statistic I saw. It was someone anecdotally in a chat the other day. But
I
you
can
know,
believe that though. Like, you know,
yeah,
unfortunately, like, I mean, when you put together the fact that everyone's struggling, cost of living,
yeah.
and methamphetamines,
And
one
that
of,
wasn't like
you know,
racially specific, but I wouldn't doubt it's probably disproportionate in certain communities. Probably Maori and Pacifica. I would
course.
probably guess.
Yeah.
And you know, you grow up in that kind of environment, you see how you fucking turn out. You're probably, you know, it's like grooming. You know, it's like you're grooming and indoctrinated, and you become part of a gang. And especially when you got people like you that are just pushing these people down. It's like, you know, you get to that age where you're like, yeah, fuck this shit, fuck the system, fuck all these fucking suit wearing motherfuckers who don't give a shit about me.
Oh, for sure. And I mean,
Yeah. Why should I
like,
toe the line? Why should I do what you tell me?
exactly. And I mean,
Fuck
all
the
those
shit.
illicit trades,
Yeah.
like, people don't just join them because they're bad. They join them because it has a sense of community.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
being
It's
in a
like,
gang is a community.
yeah, like fucking the government and the people up top have not looked out for me my entire fucking life. That all these Pakeha have not looked after me. But you know who has looked after me? My fucking Uncle Bully, who's in the in the
Yeah.
fucking mongrel mob.
I'd say the worst one from that movie.
Yeah, Uncle Bully.
Fucking
But yeah,
hell.
well,
yes.
you know, speaking of Lee Tamahori, you know, the Once Were Warriors is still quite a relevant piece of media. Like, just
Yeah.
go watch it, and you can see how, like, all the threads sort of intertwine. It's, you know, really a timeless sort of piece of art. I'd
I
say,
wish it
Once Were
wasn't
Warriors.
though. It should. That's what frustrates me. Is like, I wish. I pray that at least in maybe like another generation or so we can break that cycle, because it's fucking depressing.
Mhm.
I'm just like, how is that movie still just as relevant today as it was then?
And even mentioned, I remember this mentioned in the movie is I think it was Jake the Moss, his family only generations before, like one or two generations, were basically slaves.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
chattel slavery, because I've heard people trying to argue this. We didn't have
Yeah.
slaves. It's like we did have slaves. We just didn't have what you think of as slaves, which is like chattel slaves, which is people in chains being like farmed like cows. We still had forms of slavery here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Indentured servitude, that's a form of slavery.
Well, yeah, and I mean, like, that movie is set in my hometown. It's set actually on from the area of Ford Block, which is my uncles and aunties used to live there. It was one of the rougher areas. There was always a lot of gang, activity on that street, and that's where the whānau was based. Because, like, yeah, my dad and his siblings all grew up at Rotorua. Oh my god, that's so funny. Can't cook the man some eggs. It's too expensive. So true. And that's the thing is, imagine how much worse people who are in situations like that are probably feeling and going through at the moment.
Yep. Yeah, and the son's like the perfect example of sort of that culture too. Like he actually winds up going to a rival gang, but it's still the same thing. Like he didn't find that kind of comfort or support or community within his own family, so he had to go somewhere else.
Absolutely. I mean, some nerds end up just having online communities. Some people have IRL ones at the gang pad. Like, they serve a purpose.
Some of those online communities are just as bad as being in a fucking gang in ways.
Oh god, yeah. We all know 4chan exists.
Oh yeah.
Like, or 8chan if you want to go real crazy.
Hell yeah.
Also, I mean, I noticed this earlier, but Kilda to Chairman now. I see you came in at a really, really fun part of tonight's discussion.
Yep.
Totally fun. I'm really sorry that you came in at probably the worst time.
It woke me up. It got me mad. So
I know, right? You said you were feeling like, I feel like the foo-foo's being filled.
Yeah. Oh, it's just this guy.
Yeah. I don't know. There's actually we'll play some of the end of this because it'll go into the last story that I've got.
Or you can look at a whole lot of other statistics, and you can ask yourself, for example, are people rich or poor? Do they live in town or country? What level of education do they have? The more you do this, the more you start to realise that there's a whole lot of Maori people who are actually doing really well, and a lot of non-Maori people.
How many?
Non-Maori than poor Maori.
Oh, God. Hearing him say the word Maori is just...
Well, I thought we weren't dividing things by race now. But now if there's Maori that are doing good, it's like, yeah, see, we can single out the Maori now, and these guys are doing pretty good. Okay, how many? Proportionally, how fucking many? That's what I'd like to know.
He's thinking of those Maori elites.
yeah, the elite Maori.
Yeah.
Numbers, so you've got to have an answer to help that sector of the society as well. And so I would just argue that if you do good statistics, then you can start to address those problems.
Good statistics are the statistics that support me in my argument.
Literally! He gets so mad at Chloe when she uses fucking statistics.
Why do you sit here and say this cup is 75% empty? You could say it's 25% full. That's good statistics.
Well, the worst part is that he's implying that all the studies that people often use to discredit him don't have an internal or an external fucking viability, which technically would mean that all of the scales are being done wrong, being interpreted wrong. Does he think that he is above the fucking data scientists that make this data?
Oh, fuck yeah, he does.
Like, bro, I took Stats 193, and that was fucking hard enough.
I can't think of a single modern economist I know that supports any of his economic beliefs, for example.
Also, I like this point here from Kiwi. Some Māori are doing really well because of the progress made in the last 50 years. And that is another fucking great point, because like, since Te Pētihana, which was the Māori language petition, that was 50 years ago. Since then, we have had a lot of good changes.
So that was a very good observation.
Yes, gets rid of the set. And that's exactly it, is that the one thing that I've really, really started to notice that's been increasingly worse in this government is that the second that we, the people, start to use the tools of democracy, they go, oh, I don't know if that tool's that's still set up right, because you're using it to get yourself further, and I don't want you to catch up to me. We're supposed to be a fucking MLM, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking pyramid scheme, not this fucking
well,
do shit.
he wants to be a guy on top, and he sells that like that was the initial sort of sales tactic of capitalism. I can't remember the quote exactly like who said it, but the quote goes, "Every man a king." That's how they sold capitalism essentially, but it doesn't work like that.
Nope.
For people to be on the top pyramid, there's got to be people at the bottom, and that's why he doesn't care about equality of outcome. He said it earlier. He doesn't care. That's not what he wants. He wants equality of opportunity, and really, what he means by that is fucking assimilate to our Western capitalistic fucking dog eat dog, dark jungle agenda. You fucking
meritocracy? Meritocracy?
Yeah, and it's just these guys are the fucking Borg. Assimilate, which is a Star Trek reference. If you didn't know.
Star Wars.
Yeah, well, the entire thing is, hey, essentially they take your humanity and they turn you into a fucking mindless drone that just thinks in a giant hive.
I see. Yep. That makes sense.
Yep.
Oh yeah, actually, I know the equivalent from the Orville. Which is kind of inspired by
because you know what they are corporate suits in a way, I guess, because you know what their fucking starship is? It's just a cube. It's literally just a cube. It's the most boring thing you could think of.
Yeah, very millennial grey vibes.
Exactly, like how you see modern McDonald's these days and shit. Just like
it's
a grey
I fucking hate that shit.
Cube.
Also, turns out, this is just a fun thing I noticed, apparently the K is not silent, so it's Chairman Canal, which is kind of funny, and I love that. I also think that this is a really good point. Good statistics would be getting your math right, David Seymour, instead of chiding a young person. That's the other part too, it's crazy. Like, I can respect wanting to talk to, like, a kid, not like a child, and not talk down to them. But to be fair, he talks down to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, so frustrating. But yeah, we'll see if he actually fucking starts talking about this end of... fuck this. I'm not watching him too much longer. I need this kid back. This kid is where it's at, alright?
Whatever. I don't think that's a good outcome.
Cool. If I could ask...
Also, the way he responds to that is actually so, cool. Okay. You can tell even he's like, what the fuck was that?
Ask one more question.
Yeah.
One more.
Just
He's
sorry.
a hijacker, isn't it?
Just one more. But I wanted to ask you a bit about one of your best bills, which was the end of life choice bill that you put through. Was it 2019 or 2020?
Well, the bill passed in 2019. The referendum was in 2020.
Okay. I thought that was...
You're muted.
What kind of pathetic fucking adult goes, actually, like, fuck off.
Also, so I was just distracted because I was thinking this. I was looking at this kid and I was like, we're towards the end. We're like over 30 minutes in. He's been talking to this fucking nitwit for about half an hour. He's body language wise, he's very calm, collective. I don't see a sweat on him, but if you cut back to Seymour, he almost like his body language was visibly uncomfortable, and you can see even a little. I swear you can see he's glistening a bit. He almost he looks like he's sweating to me.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, all the greys probably don't help. They're very shiny. But yeah, I don't
there's
want to
some
listen.
sheen on his hand and stuff. I'm looking on his skin. He looks like look at that's not a chill, comfy posture he's in. He's leaned forward. He's
like, okay,
he's
very rigid.
not relaxed.
Yeah,
like,
very
and if you're
rigid.
talking to a kid like this, like look at the other kid's postures, just
He's
fucking shoulders slumped down,
Yeah.
just whatever.
All right, that's chill. Like, great politician in the making.
Yep.
Wait, no, I need to go forward, don't I? Because I don't want to hear bloody David.
Yeah.
Cool. If I could ask one more question.
Yeah.
One more.
Just
He's a
sorry.
hijacker, isn't it?
Just one more. But
Look at that nervous laughter.
I wanted to ask you a bit about one of your best bills, which was the end of life choice bill that you put through. Was it 2019 or 2020?
Well, the bill passed in 2019. The referendum was in 2020.
Okay. I thought that was really great. But could you run me through the process of how you took a bill like that was previously rejected and then managed to push it through Parliament?
Well, it was a slightly different bill, but really the reason for the difference was that the times changed. The previous bill was narrowly defeated in 2005. By about another 12, 13 years later, a lot had changed. More people had experienced bad death. Lucretia Seals, who I don't know if you know that name, but she was a very smart lawyer who had a terrible brain cancer. And the thing about these brain cancers is normally if you have a cancer and you're in pain, they give you some sort of opioid to try and dull the pain. But if the pain is in your brain, then by the time you've dulled the pain, you've also knocked yourself out. So she couldn't be helped any other way. She went to court. She asked, can I have my doctor in my life? The judge said, no, only Parliament can make that law. And I looked at that and I thought, gee, well, I'm in Parliament. Maybe I should try and help.
God, imagine if he did that for like other problems. Fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, her then husband Matt and I and a bunch of others launched a campaign, but I think in many ways Lucretia Seals made it possible, along with a whole bunch of other experiences that people had. And by the time I did it, it was just a different time. There was more support and it was easier to get done. It still wasn't easy. Well, it was easier. It was still very hard. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks so much.
Oh, thanks, Henry. It's
I just love it. Cool. I love this kid, eh? He's so good. And there was actually a couple of I wanted to highlight this one. Meritocracy is ableist. Fuck it, eh? That's why I hate that shit.
Yep.
Also clammy. I think that's the word you were looking for. Clammy.
Yeah, that's a good one.